Darius is out. I don't know if he's going to practice this week, and I don't know if he's going to play. But I said that last week, and he played. So we're going to see how he goes on a day-to-day basis, but he's hurt a little bit right now.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Tigers Roar. I'm Tommy Krysan along with Jordy Holberg. Thank you for checking us out on Pelican Sports TV. Lots to talk about in the world of sports. Ooh. LSU gets past Syracuse, does not dominate them. College basketball world, a big shockwave running through that entire thing. So much to talk about tonight. Jordy, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. Saints get a win. They're in London now, getting ready to take on the Miami Dolphins. But this college basketball situation, it has rocked its world, and there's a lot of nervous trepidation out there. How far is this going? How deep is this going? It's a mess. But this is nothing new. This has been going on for a while, but now the FBI is involved, and what's going to happen? All those people that were arrested, they're going to start chirping because they don't want to go to jail.
No, they're going to be singing like a canary.
This is going to be really interesting.
And, you know, glad we have Jordy here. Obviously played college basketball at the high level at LSU, and he's had a pulse of the college basketball world since then and even before that. So that is something we'll talk about tonight. I can say I have heard of no LSU or no schools in Louisiana being mentioned as of this time. Now, things are continuing to unfold. The commissioner of the SEC, Greg Sankey, released a statement today, very concerned, got to see the depth of this. He's basically saying we're aware that there's some issues. We're going to let it play out and see where it goes and does it affect the SEC, because South Carolina's name has come up, University of Miami. And we know about Pitino and Jurich, the AD at Louisville, on unpaid leave, which is a fancy way for saying we're firing you. We just got to get the paperwork in order.
He's in his contract. He's got to get 10-day notice before this happens. He has more lives than a cat, and those lives ran out.
Yeah, no, he will never coach another college basketball game, done. In my opinion. Now, LSU, Syracuse. You accurately said you thought they'd win but would not dominate. They'd bounce back. You pointed out how they bounced back the year previous after the loss to.
I would hope they would have.
Yeah, and they did bounce back, but, man, some question marks got answered, some more came up. And I think now 4 games into the Tiger football season, a third of the way through the regular season, Tiger fans have to know this team's not as good as you might have hoped in August. And, you know, time will tell. But you don't want to say wait till next year, and by no means do you throw the towel in this year. But realistically, this team's going to struggle in that 7-game stretch. Yeah, of course, Troy's this Saturday night, 6 o'clock. We'll be here at 9:30 with the postgame. And then it's the gauntlet, as it's been called, of 7 SEC games, 4 on the road. But if you look at some of the other SEC teams, you've seen some good, you've seen some bad. Sure. Florida's offensive line, the quarterback, everybody's got questions. LSU's certainly on that list.
It would have behooved LSU if Mississippi State had put up a better performance against Georgia than they did. They got taken behind the bushes, as Charlie Mack would say, and got beat soundly by Georgia. This is a young football team, and I'm not making excuses for them, but it is what it is. They're playing a lot of young kids. They are very thin offensive line, thin defensive line. That's where the game is won and lost. And right now, LSU's trying to figure out a way to get these things together. In my humble opinion, I think they have, Tommy, some very good individual players. Collectively, I'm not sure they're there yet, and we'll find out. They better get some momentum going and take care of a Troy team who took Clemson to the wire a year ago in Happy Valley, in Clemson, at their Death Valley. So young, and you're going to have growing pains. You just are, and they're going to make some mistakes here and there. They've got talent, but boy, that gauntlet is at Florida, Auburn at home, at Ole Miss, at Alabama. We'll find out. We'll find out quickly.
Yeah, and I would think Troy's a little better than Syracuse. Mm-hmm. Neil Brown, like Dino Babers, is the coach at Troy. Neil Brown's an offensive-minded guy. Right. You know, they've played in the big stadiums before. None of that matters to them. They're going to come in here throwing their best punches, and then they're going to look at the tape of LSU Syracuse. They're going to load the box and make LSU throw the ball to beat them. I mean, that's no secret there.
Can we get it out of the way real quick? There is no quarterback controversy. There is not. I think LSU's going to play 2 quarterbacks from here on out, depending upon the score and the situation. Miles Brennan's going to play against Troy, and they're trying to get him ready. And I think there comes a point in time, if after these next 4 games after Troy. If this season starts to do this, then I think you'll see a change of the guard to get ready for next season. I believe that fully. So we'll see. Now, the other big concern, you were on the money. I was told by LSU, actual attendance against Syracuse, 65,000. And with the game still in jeopardy midway through the third quarter, crickets. That's a concern.
The thing about Miles Brennan, I mentioned that on Eric Asher's radio show in New Orleans earlier this week, and I've said it on mine. Exactly what you just said. You know, geniuses think alike sometimes.
Oh, God.
If we'll play what if. If they lose to Florida, Auburn, and Bama, November's Miles Brennan's team.
Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
No offense to Danny
Because
Etling,
you have to get ready.
But you have to get ready for next
right
season.
now, if tonight you had to say who's going to start on that Sunday night against Miami in September
Miles
2
Brennan.
of 2018, if you had to say it tonight, the answer is Miles Brennan.
Correct.
For obvious reasons. Now, a lot of things could change that between
Sure.
now and then, but
And we're not saying that that's going to happen this year.
I'm just saying if you had to
giving up the ship.
No, and you can't throw in the towel by no means. And I said this on the radio. Ed Orgeron, that coaching staff, those players, that support staff, they want to win every football game they play. They're going to do everything they possibly can to win every football game that they play. You know, we'll see. The third poll, you know, third of the way through the season, still a lot of question marks. However, I point out other teams have a lot of question marks too. You got
Except
a few
for that-
elite teams. Well,
except for
Bama
that
doesn't,
beast.
but they got a quarterback talk. You know, Saban throws a fit every time they bring it up, and they've had some injuries, lost a couple linebackers.
59
but
zip
they
on the road.
seem to have the depth
Yes.
that's
59,
needed.
38 first downs to 3.
They seem
Vandy.
they seem to have the depth that maybe Florida, LSU, Auburn, Mississippi State does not have.
They're the class of the
Everybody's got issues as we roll towards the end of September here. We'll just have to wait and see.
That's
hey, go play the games. That's what you got to do. Let's tell you what we got coming up on the show tonight. It's jam-packed. We got a lot of LSU football. Coach Orgeron, some players. We'll hear from Neil Brown, the coach at Troy. We've also going to have the voice of the Troy Trojans, Barry McKnight. 16 years calling all the sports over there in Troy, Alabama. Barry will join us. Tell us about this Troy team, the matchup with LSU, and their coach, Neil Brown. Mike Scarborough, TigerBait.com, with an update on the recruiting and his thoughts on LSU. Roman Banks, athletic director at Southern University. Jags have a couple of home games coming up, including homecoming. Roman's going to get us all updated near the end of the program on what's happening out on the bluff at A.W. Mumford Stadium. Jag Nation, you need to get into that. And we got a clip from Ronnie Rance. He does Sports Shorts TV here on Pelican Sports TV Monday nights. It replays on Tuesday nights. He got into a little rant on this whole NFL national anthem, flag, stuff situation, which many people are talking about, and there's a variety of opinions out there, and we want to share Ronnie's thoughts with you. Jordy and I may or may not chime in on that a little bit later. So there's a lot happening tonight on Tigers Roar. Don't forget the original airing each week is on a Wednesday with replays on Friday and Saturday on the Pelican, ETEL cable system, and of course, mid-morning Thursday, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. Tigers are home Saturday night against Troy. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about this platter in front of us and how you can get a platter to take with you tailgating to the Troy game, or if you're going to a friend's house to watch it. We're going to tell you about Tremonti's and what they can do for you when we return after this pause on Tigers Roar. Stay with us. Acord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Acord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Acord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Acord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
6, 5, 4, 3. I'm back. Roger Cador here. Come watch Clarence Bugs and I as we team up to bring up all of the positive things taking place at
We continue with Tigers Roar. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Krysan with you. Don't forget the Pelican Sports post-game show about 9:30 Saturday night, as soon as that LSU-Troy game concludes. And as you should know by now, LSU-Florida on October 7th, a 2:30 kick on CBS. Jordy, we got some really good food in front of us. I ate one of the meat pies a short time ago, and I'm going to eat some more here as we go forward. Mike Tremonti and his staff want everybody to know about these platters, whether you're going out to the game to tailgate, maybe you're going to a friend's house. Tell them about it.
And this is just an assortment of meat pies, crawfish pies, and it's like egg rolls, but boudin egg rolls. So that's just something they put together. They can put together anything you want, whether it's a seafood platter, a sausage platter, cheese, whatever it is you like, you got it. And they've got all the sauces that go along with it. But look at that. Those are the boudin wraps right here. Right here, and this is the crawfish pie right there, and Marty's just taking one of the meat pies. He's going to go gobble that thing up. You can go to their website, tremontis.com, and order yourself something. If you're going somewhere, it's always nice to bring something with you. This is easy, simple, very affordable, and delicious. You'll be the hit of the party, I promise you. tremontis.com, any kind of party platter you want. They can put it together for you. It's all about communicating. You tell them when you want to pick it up. They'll have it ready for you, ready to go.
All right, we in a moment or two, we're going to hear from the post-game comments from Coach Ed Orgeron after the win over Syracuse.
How were the calls on the post-game show? What was the pulse?
Buddy described it very well when he said it feels like they lost the game based on our attitude, the crew, just the feeling you had in the air, and the calls and the text messages, which went nuts. You know,
what was the one big concern?
Matt Canada's offense. We're not seeing anything different. I mean, okay, there's a little motion here and there, but, we're not seeing anything different. But anyway, while we wait to get Coach Orgeron queued up, and they'll let me know on that, to the basketball topic. Earlier this week, the NCAA men's program rocked by the FBI investigation. That 4 assistant coaches, including Chuck Person, a former player and coach at Auburn. He's right after you?
After me.
Yeah, okay. Steering money to kids so they'll sign.
This is shoe companies, these are agents, and these are assistant coaches. And what's happening is the shoe companies are giving money to the agents are giving money to the coaches.
The AAU coaches.
The coaches, and and they're giving to the college coaches, Chuck Person and all, to get recruits to come to your school. And then when you get those recruits, you steer them to that agent, that shoe company. And that's what has transpired. And this shoe company stuff is a nasty business. It's been going on for years and years and years. This is nothing new. The only problem is now it's not the NCAA that's involved. It's the FBI. They can subpoena. They can do anything they want. And that's what's got people all up in arms. There's 80% of college basketball programs that are got a towel wiping their forehead. There's 20%, 25% going, good. This is great. Now we can have a level playing court. Whereas, some of these other programs, they're doing it the wrong way. And Rick Pitino, good. He's been bad news for many, many years.
I'm surprised he's still around. But as you said a little earlier, that train's off the tracks.
Those lives are gone.
All right, now here's the thing that concerns me. This is the tip of the iceberg. You and I have both heard it for years. You talk to a college coach, and they're like, man. And I'm not going to say names right here. So and so, they're doing this. This school's doing that, and we got no chance, And there's that upper crew. Well, right now, that upper group, whatever the number is, like you said, they're shaking in their boots right now. Yeah. And this is the tip of the iceberg. This thing is going to spread out.
It just depends how long they want to make it last.
Basketball is a bad news. It really is. It has got out of control because of money. You say, follow the money, and now an NBA agency's being investigated. I mean, basketball is a bad week when we're supposed to be talking about football, but it is so significant, we wanted to bring it up.
There's only one solution. And that's to abolish AAU basketball.
That is
That
going to
is
come
the
out of this.
only solution to this problem. And
We
then
should be forming a basketball league.
you go to high school, and you make the coaches go watch you play high school basketball, and that's it.
Well, as someone accurately pointed out, football, Coach Ed Orgeron and his staff have to go talk to high school coaches about recruits.
Here's the deal.
In basketball, you got to go to this guy wearing a tracksuit who coaches an AAU basketball program that's in a tournament in New York one weekend, a tournament in Houston the next weekend, then they're in Vegas the weekend after that.
How are they paying for all those trips? Those parents aren't paying
No,
those trips.
they're not.
Of course.
So my point is, it's corruption run amok.
Here's the difference. Football, baseball, they got to be there 3 years. You're paying players, that's a long time to get a return on your investment. Basketball, the good ones, they're one and done. So they're in there for 3 months like Ben Simmons was. 3 months and gone, and I'm not saying Ben Simmons is part of this. I'm just using it for instance. That player signs with an agent, that money comes back. It's a quick return on your investment. And when you're hearing that Louisville's paying a player $100,000 to come play there, that's serious. That's serious business. That's not $500 under the table so you can go buy some food.
That's not a free dinner at a restaurant.
Get a suit. No, $100,000.
That's not a dinner at a couple of
And
restaurants.
look, Arizona's involved. That's a premier basketball school. And there's a lot of people pointing, well, what about, how does Kentucky get all those players? We'll wait and see. We'll see.
Let it play out.
That's right.
No question about that. That story's not going away for a long time. Also, the one and done rule could become history because of this, too. We'll
I still
wait and
say
see.
AAU's got to go. Got to be abolished.
All right, Coach Ed Orgeron, after the win. It's always about winning the game, and they did win the game.
How you do it?
Here's
Oh.
Coach Ed Orgeron after the win over Syracuse.
Tell them, Mo.
We wanted to give Miles Brennan some reps when the game was on the line, see what he could do. And obviously he did well in some situations, got to get better in other ones. Danny is our starting quarterback. But we just wanted to give Miles a chance when the game was on the line. I thought we battled tonight. Obviously, we got ahead. And on defense, they started making some big plays. We weren't good on third down. We weren't as good as our pass rush and our containment and our coverage. I thought our special teams did a good job tonight. All the kickoffs going in the end zone. We could have done better returning and fielding the ball. We gave up too many hidden yardage. But other than that, it was a good win for our team. I know it wasn't pretty and it wasn't exciting, but I'm glad that we won and we're going to celebrate this win. Any questions?
I know you're going to be able to see it better once you see the game film, but initial thoughts on how the offensive line played?
Well, obviously, there was too much penetration. And, the safety, we had penetration all night. Danny was under duress the whole night. So without watching the film, I'd say that Syracuse defensive line won. But I'm going to have to watch the film, obviously.
It seemed like they were getting a lot of backside.
Say it again?
They were getting a lot of backside tackles and
Yeah.
pulling guards and
Yeah.
chasing them down.
They did a good job. I mean, those guys did a good job of knowing what we were going to do, and they did a good job.
Coach, from last week to this week, where did you see the levels of improvement that you were looking for?
Yeah.
And where did you just see some that
Well, number one, we wasn't going against a strong opponent as Mississippi State. I think they're a pretty strong opponent. We had only 3 penalties. We had 0 penalties in the first half. So for that, I'm proud. We don't want to have 3 penalties, but we improved on that. We worked very hard on that this week. Other than that, I think that we played an okay game.
What did you look at halftime offensively, trying to get the ball out faster, give you guys a chance?
No, well, it was about protection. We wanted to protect, but we hit the deep ball. We want to continue to hit the deep ball. I think the long balls saved us tonight. We couldn't get much going in the run game, and but they were bringing their safeties down, and we had a lot of one-on-ones. We wanted to hit them, but it was about protection first. No question. Let's say it again now. Yeah, we need them. I mean, those guys, we need them. And D. Anderson, guys like that, big receivers. You saw the number 8. I mean, that guy could jump and beat a one-on-one all day, and he was a very good player. I mean, that guy could play here. And we need guys to develop like that and be able to beat one-on-one coverage.
Coach, the secondary right out of the gate came up with that pick for Green.
That's nice.
Then, 300 yards through the passing.
Yeah.
What was the biggest mistakes they were making?
Bust. we had a man-to-man coverage, and then we let our man go. Sometimes we miss some tackles in there, just assignments. Nothing that we can't fix.
Darius Spice okay?
What's that?
Is Darius Spice okay?
Yeah, he's fine.
What about Greeny's play in particular, kind of up and down for him?
Yeah, well, I like the interception for the touchdown. Obviously, we're gonna have to watch the film, and I didn't see anything crucial out there, but again, I don't watch that area of the game that much.
Ed, you mentioned you couldn't get the run game going like that. What did you see why that
Their defensive line was penetrating and stunning, getting in the backfield, weren't able to pick it up.
Their offensive tempo, what kind of problems did that present for you?
Conditioning. It was tough to alternate our guys. A lot of times we didn't get lined up. They called the play very, very fast. And, our defense is predicated on the field defense, wide receiver strength. We're trying to get the call. We have a stunt going one way or something like that. It took a little bit of time. And those guys gave us problems.
You talked about the quarterbacks. What did you see? The interception looked like it might have been a receiver issue.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what it was. I heard Matt say that on the phone, but I don't want to say that yet. Now we want to watch it on film. I thought Danny did good. He held his own out there. He's going to be a fine quarterback for us.
Is that kind of how you want to approach it moving forward, get a little taste of
Yeah, we wanted him to get some taste of some live action to see what he can do. And but Danny's our quarterback, and Miles did not beat him out or nothing like that tonight. And just in case, Miles is one play away if Danny gets hurt. So we wanted to get that experience tonight.
Coach, it was 28-10 in the third quarter. The safety kind of got it going for them.
Yeah.
The punt that rolls to the one, and then the not
Yeah.
blocking. What can you say about the punt returning and what
Yeah.
happened right there?
Well, we need to field the ball. I mean, there's some hidden yards there. We stand at the 10, okay? If the ball is behind us, we won't touch it. But if the ball's in front of us, we aggressively have to go get it. And we haven't done that. Now, you can't blame BJ because he doesn't have a lot of experience up back there. We just got to coach him better. Tonight was, we went a lot of punt safe tonight. So we wasn't holding up a lot of guys. So we thought that we were going to fake it. And there was a lot of situations that we just went punt safe and we played the fake. And we didn't have a big hold up. So that was the situation tonight.
Do you think that more teams will do what Syracuse did tonight, knowing that it was effective and you really couldn't handle it that well?
Sure, no question. I think that they have a good plan. I mean, they have a good plan, and that's the things that we're going to see coming up. A lot of these offenses are basketball on grass, and they're tough with good quarterbacks, and they make plays in space. We got to get used to it.
With the offensive line, what improvements did you see when you put in Adrian at right guard?
Yeah, I thought he did. I thought he did a little bit better. We moved the ball. I talked to Jeff. I thought he protected better, and I'm glad that he did a good job. But again, I need to watch the film before I say anything.
If you had to make a quick assessment here on third of the way through the season,
Yeah.
how far along where you wanted to be and where you are?
I think that, we started the game with BYU. We thought we were a very good team. We played Chattanooga. We had some disappointments, a lot of penalties. We went to Mississippi State, didn't play very well. And tonight we played an average game. So I think that we're very inconsistent right now. And we need to get things going before we get into the meat of play.
Any update on John Battle?
Yeah, I think he's going to be fine. I don't think it's something that requires surgery or anything like that. But hopefully he's back. We're very thin back there.
Richard, hold up all right?
No, he hurt his other ankle. And we're different with Rashard Lawrence in there. I think you guys can see that. He's the leader. He's our bell cow. He played on a hurt ankle tonight, but played the whole game. It was tight. He got hurt. Hopefully it doesn't keep him out for long because he makes a difference.
And how limited was Darius, or was he limited, or was it just Daryl was doing better? What was the...
No, he was limited. I mean, he didn't practice all week. I didn't think he was going to play. I think other guys may not play. He practiced on Thursday. He wanted to play, but we limited his reps, and that's what we did.
How badly do you need some intermediate passing?
What's that?
How badly do you think this offense needs some intermediate passing?
We need it terribly. First down passes, short throws, easy throws to the quarterback. We still have to develop.
Coach, is your overall feeling, obviously you're happy to win, but it's just not the clean, dominant performance you're looking for?
No way. No way. But again, we had a tough week. It was a tough deal dealing with what we did last Saturday. So we rebounded. We're going to focus on trying to get better. We're going to take it 1 week at a time. I don't know how good this team is, but I know we're going to develop every week. And this week is going to be an important week for us.
You think there was a little bit of a hangover, Coach?
What's that?
You think there was a little bit of a hangover?
I think so. I hope not too much, but that lingers on for a little while when you get whooped like we did. And hopefully that we can rebound faster.
Tyler Taylor showed you there in that first half.
Did good. Did good. Again, I watched the film, but I didn't hear Dave talking about any busts, anything like that, you know.
Ed, you mentioned Rashard hurt his other ankle, but it seems like every week we're talking about a defensive player who's injured. How is this affecting the game plan?
Well, it's with them. I mean, we got guys in there was playing without any experience. They got to play. You know, Glenn Logan is now almost a starter for us. And he's the guy that redshirted last year, so we need to continue to develop those guys. And but it's going to get tough down the stretch here.
Last question, guys.
Thank you, guys. Go Tigers.
For those of you paying close attention, there are less items on this Tremonti's
drop those in.
party
Yeah,
planner now.
it's
So keep an
and
eye
the
on that.
guys in the
rest of
truck haven't hit it yet. As soon
Yeah,
as we
so
go to
keep-
break, it'll be gone.
Keep an eye on that platter because by the end of the night, it's not going to look the same. It's already changed. We got to get to a break. We're going to come back with much, much more on this week's edition of Tigers Roar. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com. Available on YouTube.com/Pelican Broadcasting Thursday in case you missed it. Stay with us.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
Hooper Road Car Care in Central has been serving customers for over 24 years. Locally owned by Donald and Gina Gaspard, they provide all types of car care, including brakes, alignment, tune-ups, oil changes, AC service, transmission, computer diagnostic, and much more. Hooper Road Car Care also provides towing services. Call 225-262-7127. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30, 9695 Hooper Road in Central.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows is honored to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
We continue with Tigers Roar here on Pelican Sports TV. Don't forget, coming up in a little while, Barry McKnight, the voice of the Trojans.
Here you go.
Detroit
Here you go,
Trojans.
Marty. Go ahead and dip. He's a bottomless pit. We can swing
I told
the
y'all
camera.
that the plot is going to look different each time.
Marty
you
never
come
stops
back.
eating. Marty Campbell, my
She was
God.
floor director, huh?
Unbelievable.
Floor
Bottomless
director
pit.
is supposed to direct the floor, not eat,
He's
right?
directing the consumption of food is what he's doing.
Still to come, Barry McKnight, the voice of the Trojans, been there a long time doing it very good, does radio shows, all that stuff. Imagine that. Also, Mike Scarborough, Roman
Imagine
Banks, Southern University Athletics. So lots to come yet tonight. Right now, we have more from Coach Orgeron earlier this week, some questions and answers from the media. Here's Tiger football coach Ed Orgeron.
We saw Ed Paris in that heavy knee brace. Do you have any update on him?
Who's that?
Ed Paris.
Yeah, Ed is going to be out for the season. Just went through an operation, and hopefully we can redshirt him and get him back for next year.
Coach, how's Darius feeling?
Yes, ma'am.
How's Darius feeling?
Darius is out. I don't know if he's going to practice this week, and I don't know if he's going to play, but I said that last week, and he played. So we're going to see how he goes on a day-to-day basis, but he's hurt a little bit right now.
Ed, on the Ed Paris note, who has to step up? Obviously, who are you expecting to kind of fill that rotational
Eric
role?
Monroe, John Battle, who is currently out for today. A lot of young guys we have to check out there, but Eric Monroe would be the guy right now. John is out right now, but I think he's going to play this week. But obviously, we have to see as the week goes by. But I think he's going to be fine.
Coach, any thought to putting Cushionberry at center and Clapp at guard? And what's the downside of maybe a move like that?
That has not been discussed. We're staying with the same group we have.
Okay, as a follow-up, can you do anything better there?
Yeah, we talked to Ed, and there's some things that we think that we're going to get better at with Ed there. We're going to work on some things with him, and it's not all him now. We didn't play well up front, and so he's a freshman, but we expect the older guys to play better, and obviously he's going to make some mistakes, and he did, but the rest of the guys did also.
Hey, Coach, up here at the top, is Jacoby an option at safety, maybe to go back to that side of the ball?
Yeah, he could be, but he's doing so well on offense that we're not going to do that right now. Obviously, that would be an emergency, but we're not ready to go there yet.
Coach, I know you focused a lot on cleaning up penalties last week in practice. What's your main focus this week for practice?
Well, execution, starting fast, playing better on offense, not making the mistakes that we did in protection, be able to run the football, getting back to LSU style, being physical on defense, getting off the field on third down, finishing games. It seemed like we started very slow on offense this week and ended up very fast. We started very fast on defense and ended up very slow. We need to play a complete game, especially this week.
Hey, Coach, I know it's kind of an old topic, but it seems to be lingering a little bit. How much were you just blindsided by, losing Tahuma in the preseason before, and how is it hurting the offensive line at this point?
Well, it's something we dealt with. Obviously, it was a blow to us, but I think our guys have done a good job of dealing with it and not talking about it. But obviously, anytime you lose a starter like that, it's a blow to your offense. These guys would be second team right now. He'd be starting, and they'd be getting very few reps. But they're in the fire, and they're good players, and I believe in them, and they're going to get better.
Ed, you plan on continuing to give Miles reps in a close game?
Yes.
And what did you see from him last
Great.
week?
It was 4 out of 5. Did fantastic. He missed one. The one he threw an out route was almost a pick. I think it was DJ was open right behind him. That's going to be expected. They're going to make mistakes. I thought he threw the ball very well. Great release. He made some great decisions. He dumped the ball to Darryl that went, I don't know, for 30-something yards down against the blitz. That was a perfect read. The interception that he threw, it was between him and the receiver. The receiver moved out a little bit, and it could have went either way. No blame on anybody else. It could have been executed better. I thought he did fantastic for his first time under fire.
Ed, over here, we saw you make a change at punter, go with Zach later on in the game.
Yeah.
Is that competition open at this point, or where are you guys at there?
Sure. I think that Zach is going to be our punter until he gets beat out. And obviously, both of those guys have done a good job, but we weren't pleased with the inconsistency. And Zach has showed that he can punt during the week. Wanted to give him a chance. I think he had a 50 and a 45-yard. He did a very good job for us.
Straight ahead. We actually saw a little bit of that four-wide set. I think it was only one play. First time we've seen it this season. You know, are you getting a little more comfortable there? Do you think we see that a little more moving forward?
I think that when we get Stephon Sullivan and Drake Davis, Jacoby Stevens, maybe a guy like D. Anderson would come around, and he's been injured a bunch, and get the young Jefferson up to speed that we can go four wides, but we're not ready to make a living out of that. We're not well versed in it. We haven't practiced it a bunch, and we don't feel like we could have a lot of success in four wides right now.
Is that just a matter of more experience? What's kind of the
I think it's more experience and better receivers, more receivers with experience, get better receivers that can play those positions, and we think we have a couple guys, but a couple of them are not eligible right now.
Hey, Coach, up here. You said that Troy has the same kind of fast-paced offense that Syracuse had. What are some keys for your defense to make sure they don't get worn out early in the game?
We need to rotate better, and obviously we're very thin. And I don't think Rashard Lawrence is going to play this week, which he played last week, and he does give us a big boost when he played. I thought he played fantastic. We're very thin, but we have to learn how to rotate our guys earlier in the first and second quarter so they're not wore out in the third and the fourth. And I think you're going to see an improvement in that this week.
On Rashard Lawrence, how are his ankles? You said he tweaked one, and how his treatment on Sunday, I guess. And then just your D-line, how different is it when he's out there? How important is it that he's healthy?
Thank you, Shay. It's night and day. He's a tremendous leader. It seems like he does everything right. He's getting everybody else lined up. He makes plays. He has the heart of a tiger. I knew that in recruiting. I knew Rashard would be the team captain of our team one day and lead us to many victories. And he did it at Neville, and he's going to do it again here. But he will not play this week, and hopefully we can have him by next week against Florida.
Coach, you put Nick Brossette in a big spot
Yeah.
the other night, and he came through. Can you just talk about that? And is that a message to everybody on the sideline to be awake? You never know when you're going to get
No question.
called on.
Hey, you never can tell. We put 11 men on the field, and we fight like tigers. And his name was called upon, and Tommy believed in him, and he did it. Nick is going to be a good back for us. He just got to get his reps in his turn.
Coach, you talked a little bit about Miles. Would you like to see more, extend him for longer? And how do you guys approach that with the room in the week building up? I mean, is it a discussion you have, or is it just?
I handle it. Danny's our starting quarterback. And I handle that. The team knows that, and I'll tell them that today, and they understand. And I told Miles during the day Saturday, I said, be ready. I'm going to put you in. And I think that it's unfair to him that the drive ended in an interception. But what I didn't want to do is put the pressure on him to have to go win the football game, because Danny is our starting quarterback. That's why we put him back in. And I'm very grateful that that drive was very beneficial to us, and we did the right thing there.
We continue with Tigers Roar as the Tremonti's platter shrinks each and every time we give you some video.
Good stuff.
If you were here, you'd be eating it as well. Hey, a couple of things to tell you about, and then we're going to get to Ronnie Rants for you from Sports Shorts. First
Is that
up,
a play on words? Rants? Does he rant?
He does a rant. That's
He
what
rants.
we're going to show.
Okay.
But first off, Louisiana Sports Writers Association, each and every week, they vote on the College Football Players of the Week, encompassing all the schools in the state of Louisiana. And no different this week, offense, defense, special teams by the Louisiana Sports Writers Association. And we want to share that with you. I like to share it on radio. We like to share it because there are lots of other football teams doing stuff across the state and getting good things done. All right, we'll get to that later. Also, Sunday, October 1, LSU baseball begins their fall practice. 3 o'clock Sunday.
Can we get to basketball first? They start before that.
Friday.
Yeah.
We got Will Wade coming up.
Well, you're a baseball player.
Well, we got Will Wade coming up.
Friday comes before Sunday.
Okay, Friday, Will Wade in basketball. You going to basketball practice?
Not this Friday.
Not this Friday. Okay, baseball starts on Sunday, October 1, 3 o'clock, free admission at the box. There we go. Whoop, whoa, whoa. We go get it. All right, huh? No, we're good. We're good. Hey, we're good. We got Jordy and I here who've never been accused of not being able to talk. Am I correct, Mr. Holtberg?
That's correct.
All right, I thought I saw something, but we're going to go when they put it up. See, we're going to show you that we got a lot of experience right here. Louisiana Sports Writers Association Players of the Week. Caleb Evans, responsible for 6 touchdowns in ULM's win, double overtime over ULL in Lafayette. On defense, Dale Monte Johnson, defensive back from Grambling, and their win over Mississippi Valley.
Pronounce the next one.
I know it because I called Damon Sunday, the SID at Southeastern.
Okay.
Do you want to take a stab, sir?
Juan Petit Ferre. Let's see. Ferre.
It's
Juan
you're very,
Petit
very
Ferre.
close. It's Juan Petit Ferrer.
Ferrer.
A little French on that. Kick returner, had a big return for the Lions in their first win of the season over Lamar. Basketball coming up. We're going to hear from Will Wade a little bit later. But baseball, as we mentioned, they're going to work out Sunday, begin their fall practice session. It's free to get in, Alec Box Stadium, if you want to go out there and check out Paul Maneri's baseball
18
team.
new players, 11 new pictures. 11!
If they got good arms, we'll find out. So be a part of that fall practice if you want to be. All right. Ronnie Rance does Sports Shorts television here on the Pelican, Monday nights at 9 and Tuesday nights it repeats at 8. We push it over to YouTube like we do with many of our programs. Ronnie also Sports Shorts Radio. You see him on the post game with CST. He contributes to our post game show when Buddy and I are on. And longtime sportscaster, 2-time national champion at LSU in baseball. Well, we have an excerpt from his show this week, Sports Shorts TV, which you can always see on the Pelican. His thoughts, his stance, play on words, pun intended, his stance on the NFL kneeling down.
In the 60s when they did Black Power, I get that, okay? I get it. You know, the oppression of the 60s and civil rights and the whole thing. And Martin Luther King, absolutely. I'm on board for all of that.
Sure.
We are 50 years removed from those days, okay? We have black presidents, we have black mayors and politicians and millionaires and billionaires and like there's no, if you want to go to school for free, you can. You want to go to college for free, you don't have money, we'll give you food. If you don't have a roof, we'll put a roof over your head. I mean, like, where is it? Okay? I mean, I get it that there's still stuff that's going on in this world, and there's always going to be racism when we can all be, but like, we've got millionaires that are they're not having a hard life. And they're taking a knee, but here's the thing. They don't even know why they're kneeling anymore. There's high schools and taking knees. A football team in Seattle, 100 people took a knee. Those kids don't even know what they're kneeling for. It's just a cool thing now. It's like the ice bucket challenge. Nobody even knows why they did the ice bucket challenge. Did anybody ever give money? I mean, like, seriously. People just dumping buckets of ice. It was for ADL or whatever. Right.
ALS.
I mean, ALS, excuse me.
They didn't even know why.
Buy your appliances from ADL, Appliance Distributors of Louisiana. But no, I mean, nobody even knows why the ice bucket challenge was for.
That's a great.
And that's what this kneel thing has become. Nobody knows what the message is. It's now just, you know, I had a conversation with somebody. I said, where do you fall on this kneel, not kneel? And they're like, hey, do you, boo? You know, like their comment was like, do you? You know, people, you just do you. Worry about you. It's like, okay, that was the answer. Then I had other people say, you know, I just don't even care. Okay, so you don't care, or it's just do you. So where does the anthem come in? Where does the patriotism, where does the, you know, United States of America and all that? Like this selfishness, do you or not care? Like, really? That's where we are now? As a person, we don't give a crap about anything and anybody. But I thought the kneel thing was for the other people. I mean, like, it's just so out of control right now. People don't even understand why they're kneeling. And you got multimillionaires kneeling talking about oppression. For who? Not anybody in their family or their life or whatever. And by the way, nobody knows why you're kneeling. Like, nobody knows.
Right. Because
It's not changing anything. It's not doing anything. You know what it's doing? It's ruining the league. You know what's going to happen? All those people that are oppressing you are going to stop buying suites. They're going to stop buying tickets. I guarantee you the NFL, they're already feeling it when it comes to the ratings.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to feel it when it comes to the corporate dollars because those horrible white racist people that have all that money are going to stop spending it on a bunch of people that aren't appreciative that they're spending the money and going to the games. So, like I'm okay with it. Like, I actually know a guy who's a multimillionaire supporter of Michigan, supporter of the Miami Dolphins, lives in Michigan, has a suite. And he said this week to a mutual friend of ours that I don't even care about football anymore. Like, that guy is going to not have a suite anymore over this issue. And this is the beginning. I mean, like, unless they stand for the national anthem and it changes, this is going to start, forget the concussion syndrome thing.
Yeah.
Forget concussions.
Yeah.
This is way worse than concussions.
Currently,
this is worse than concussions. And by the way, the Pittsburgh Steelers as a team didn't come out for the national anthem, and the one player stood in the tunnel. Alejandro, whatever, you know, the former Army Ranger, okay? There's now, today, and we'll see more about it, there's actually a rule where they have to come out for the team has to come out for the anthem. Like, those guys are going to get fined, by the way.
It's a topic that's everywhere, and I wanted to share that. And you know, people have opinions, and you got choices, and you make them. You do what you got to do. I mean, that's about it, right?
I'm standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, for the national anthem.
Yeah,
always have, always will.
Well, I played it every time before I played a college baseball game. Hat was off, standing at attention. Like you, I've announced buku games where it's always been played, and I stand and get at attention.
I've had to, in the middle of a thought, talking, had to stop.
Because the anthem started.
And you can't talk during the anthem. You stop. Right. And you pay homage and pay respect, and then you move on.
When we come back, we're going to talk about somebody that can talk. Barry McKnight, longtime voice of the Troy Trojans, is going to tell us about this Troy football team, the matchup with LSU, and their coach, Neil Brown. Right after this pause on Tigers Roar. Stay with us.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I'm Roger Kador. I'm here to tell you about Smith, Shanklin, and Sosa. You won't find them on billboards, but you'll find them in the courtroom where real lawyers are. You see, billboards do not solve cases. Real trial lawyers do. So if you're hurt and need a lawyer, call 225-223-6333.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
We continue with Tigers Roar. Jordy Holberg, Tommy Chrysan with you. It's our pleasure to now be joined by Barry McKnight in his 16th year as the voice of the Troy Trojans. Barry, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing well. Lots of anticipation, I'll admit, too, towards getting down there and getting ready for that football game Saturday night.
Well, Troy's used to playing in venues like this, right? I mean, that experience a year ago in Clemson ought to give this team some real confidence, I would think.
You know, whatever may happen in the game Saturday night, good, bad, indifferent, one of the factors in it will not be being overawed or being intimidated by the venue. I think that's a fair statement to say. Last year, Troy came within a possession of beating Clemson in Clemson in a tough environment, and Troy has had a history in Baton Rouge. Troy. Yep. Gave up a late touchdown in 2004 in one of the Saban teams to LSU. LSU won that one by 4. And, of course, that 2008 game with Les Miles, Troy was down there, led 31-3 with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Unbelievable.
Couldn't close the deal and lost that one. So whatever happens, yeah, the intimidation, I don't think will be a factor at all about being down there and playing in that great city.
Barry, Troy, like LSU's got 4 games in the books. You've seen, this is your 16th year calling their games. How do you assess this team through 4 games? What's the thing that you notice most about this year's Trojan football team?
Well, I imagine LSU fans can relate to this as well because I do think the offense has plenty of firepower. Troy returns 99% of their offensive yardage from last year, but they really underproduced so far. They've left a lot of points out on the table. And I know LSU fans, I'm singing to the choir with that about that offense. The Troy team has experience in the skill positions, a fifth-year senior quarterback in Brandon Silvers, a senior running back who ran for 1,300 yards last year in Jordan Chun, and some really, really good sizable wide receivers, but, the 3-1 record has not been without some white-knuckle moments, especially on offense. Defensively, it's fast. They don't match up physically necessarily with LSU, but Vic Koenig, the defensive coordinator, has done a real good job of devising schemes and trying to take advantage of weaknesses. But so far, yeah, it's a 3-1 record, and you can't sneeze at that, but it certainly seems as though it should have been better, to be quite honest.
So, Barry, you're telling me you mentioned 2004. You don't have a DeMarcus Ware on that defensive line, I hope, do you?
If we did, I think you'd be the last person I would tell. I'd love to see a spring on us. Yeah, DeMarcus was a big factor in 2004. The year before, OCU Manora was on the team. Troy has a history of great defensive players, but that 2004 game was interesting because I think maybe in that game one of the deciding factors late was that Troy was a little bit overawed by the venue. And after that game, you never like a loss, but it sort of helped jumpstart the realization that given certain factors and exploiting certain tendencies, Troy can play with the big guys more often than not. That was again, in a loss, that was certainly a sort of a benchmark experience for this program.
Agree.
Barry, Troy's going to come into town Saturday night to play LSU. LSU, like a lot of teams, has some question marks and still trying to put everything together, for lack of a better description. What do you think Troy would have to do to come out of there with a win on Saturday night? What would be the keys to that?
Well, I do like Troy's defensive front seven against the LSU O-line. I still, I watched tape of the Syracuse game. I watched tape of the Mississippi State game, and I still think that LSU offensive front is a work in progress. I do know Vic Koenig will try a lot of different sets. He'll have a lot of different looks, and he'll play a lot of people in the front seven to try to take advantage maybe of that lack of cohesiveness and communication across that LSU offensive line. Guys, they may not be able to do it, but that, I think, is Troy's best chance and best approach against LSU.
LSU's got a couple of people that are hurt, won't play as of right here, right now. What's the health prognosis of Troy heading into LSU?
Troy's good. Troy is, there's a wide receiver who got a little dinged up. There's a running back, a reserve running back who had a knee, but they are good. And if you look at that, if you look at Geis probably being held out, if you look at no Rashad Lawrence and no Ed Paris, and you look at the schedule with Florida coming up next week, you don't wish injuries on anybody, but this does give Troy some hope maybe that they match up a little bit better and that maybe LSU will be looking ahead just a little bit and hoping that would be sort of a perfect storm to give Troy a chance.
Barry has done his homework. He knows about Rashard Lawrence and all. All right, whenever anybody mentions LSU, they mention Darius Geis. When we mention Troy, who do we look for? Who's the go-to guy? Who is the star of the club?
Well, you're looking at number 38. His name is Jordan Chun. He's a senior. He's on NFL draft boards. He's about 235 pounds. He is about 7 touchdowns away from setting an all-time lead record for rushing touchdowns. He's not a game breaker, but he's a guy that I think matches up well. He's built a lot like Darrell Williams and is kind of a banger if, and that's a sizable if Chun can get going, if he can lean on that LSU defensive front enough, I'm not talking about dominate, but just lean on them, son. I think Jordan Chun, number 38 for Troy, could be a real key in this game for the Trojans.
Barry, give us a scouting report on Coach Neil Brown as a coach of the Troy Trojans.
He's an air raid guy. He's from the Hal Mummy, Tony Franklin style. But this year and the last couple of years, he's accentuated the run game. He's 37. He actually he looks about 30, maybe 29 years old, just like Jordy.
Thank you.
He's young. He's energetic. He relates well to the players. They recruit really well. And if he was the offensive coordinator back on that 2008 team that couldn't nurse that 31-3 lead. Didn't have the running games in that he has now, but plenty of energy. The fans love him. The players love playing for him, and he's brought a real renewed sense of optimism here to southeastern Alabama.
All right, and give me something about Neil Brown, not the football coach. Give the fans a little story about Neil, maybe on a road trip or something about him when he's not being football coach.
Well, we get around all the time. Back when he was the offensive coordinator here under Larry Blakeney, we did have road trips. He, at the time, was the youngest offensive coordinator in the country. He was 26. We used to have people at the airport think he was the team manager, and he always used to get carded at restaurants and stuff like that. But Neil's he's extremely smart. He's destined for big things. He's got an MBA. Everything he does is with a purpose. But the thing that everybody notices most about Neil is just his energy and his passion. You'll see him down there on the sidelines. He wears a visor. He'll go Spurrier now and again and toss that visor. So he does create kind of a spectacle as well, but a solid football coach and a solid young man.
Barry, well done, my friend. Well done.
Well, Barry, safe travels to you into Baton Rouge and out of here, and have a great call at a game, and we certainly appreciate your time and the outstanding observations.
I appreciate it. Always, anytime I hear Jordy's voice, it always puts a smile on my face. Great to hear from you again, my friend.
All right, buddy. You take care, man.
All right, that's Barry McKnight.
We've
always say
we've done hoop games before.
We always say it's all about preparation. That dude was prepared for this interview.
He knew more about the LSU players than LSU players do.
I mean, I didn't tell him what we were going to ask him.
No,
He's a pro. we're allegedly pros. We just rocked, and really appreciate Barry with that contribution.
I don't know if I'm a pro, but I didn't know one thing about who the main guy was for Troy. That's why I asked him.
Chun, that running back, 38.
But he knew all about who was hurt.
Well, he's looking at game tape and stuff. I mean, you know, hey, he's very good at what he does. So we appreciate his time and cooperation. Now, next week, we got to get somebody from Florida. They have anybody down there that'll talk? I mean, they got some issues off the field.
I got Mr. Brockway will join us. We'll take care of that. I got the guy. Don't worry.
All right. We'll take care of that.
Covered.
All right. You got that assignment
Scattered,
for next
smothered,
week.
and covered.
Oh, there you go. All right. The Termati's platter's getting a little thinner, but we got plenty more for you still to come. Mike Scarborough in a little while. From TigerBait.com, Roman Banks, athletic director at Southern University.
Well, he was a good basketball coach. Man, why did he give that up?
Speaking of basketball, I'll tell you what, we come back, we're going to let people hear from Will Wade. You want to hear from Will Wade?
Yeah.
He starts practice
Baseball
Friday.
starts Sunday, basketball starts Friday, but we're going to talk about baseball. Come on.
We're going to come back.
Maneri's been there forever. Wade's just starting. Give the guy a break.
When we come back, no Paul Maneri. It's Will Wade coming right at you, about some Tiger hoops. No,
we don't care about hoops. He just bring on baseball, lefty.
There we go. Jordy Hilberg, Tommy Christ, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com, YouTube.com/Pelican Broadcast. And when we come back, Will Wade, Tiger basketball coach, we're going to let you hear him talking as he approaches the beginning of practice. Stay with us on Tigers Roar.
Call you out on that.
Jaguar Nation, I'd like to say thank you for your continued support of our student athletes and our coaches. Once again, you have shown America we have the greatest fans in the country. It's time. Football season. Season tickets are available. Go Jags.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-718-3516, 800-718-3516.
Hooper Road Car Care in Central has been serving customers for over 24 years. Locally owned by Donald and Gina Gaspard, they provide all types of car care, including brakes, alignment, tune-ups, oil changes, AC service, transmission, computer diagnostic, and much more. Hooper Road Car Care also provides towing services. Call 225-262-7127. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30, 9695 Hooper Road in Central.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name is Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
We continue with Tigers Roar. We remind you the original airing each week, Wednesday nights, replays on the Pelican Friday at 7 p.m., Saturday morning at 10 a.m., ETEL cable system Friday and Saturday at 2 p.m., YouTube in case you miss it. Watch it at your convenience, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. We want to get to some basketball. Mr. Hultberg has informed me.
Well, I'm just, with this scandal that's going on in college basketball, already a big 6'10 recruit has decommitted from Auburn. Already 2 big-time top 50 prospects have decommitted from Louisville. Don't be surprised if Will Wade sticks his feet in the water and, the signing class is coming up in November. And he's very good at doing this. He's very good at getting players. We'll see. But he does it the right way.
Well, and, the thing you don't know is how far is this thing going to reach out. We've heard the names of schools. We see the impact at Louisville already. AD and coach effectively fired. Miami, Arizona, South Carolina, Auburn. I mean, how big's the groundswell? And you made a great point earlier. These 4 guys that are about to be indicted by the NCAA, the FBI, but the FBI is going to say, okay, Mr. So-and-so, we can go a little easy on you if you can tell me anything I need to know about anybody else.
Yeah.
And, of course, the longer they sit there, the better their memory's going to get. Yep. And then they're going to think, it's like they put them guys in jail. They say, I don't know who killed that person. And then as time goes by, their memory comes back to them because they want to get out of there.
Yeah,
okay?
Funny how that works.
Yeah, but anyway, so no, it's a huge story. Every sports outlet is covering it, and it is merely the tip of the iceberg. I know that's a cliche, but this thing could be, it could cause rule changes. It could cause
and it should.
all kind of things from, like you said, these guys that were committed or even signed to these different schools that are now could be facing serious sanctions and penalties and whatnot. I mean, this could bounce into some bad stuff.
Yeah.
But LSU, we've heard nothing about LSU. We've heard nothing about any school in Louisiana as we're sitting here. Will Wade has infused some excitement into LSU basketball. He has hit the ground running. They will begin practice later this week. Season not that far away as we push towards the end of September. Here are some comments from Tiger basketball coach Will Wade as he's about to embark on his first set of practices as Tiger head coach.
Injury update, get started. Jeremy Combs, we did a tightrope procedure on his ankle last week. We got to re-stabilize his ankle. So he's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. So that pushes him right up to the start of our first game on November 10th. We did it last Monday, and it's really 6 to 8 weeks from then. So it'll be right around our first game. He could be available. So he had some ankle problems last year at North Texas, and we just didn't feel like it was stable enough for him to make it through the whole season. Our doctors didn't, and we thought this was gave him the best opportunity to play this year, which is what we wanted to do. So, otherwise, team's we're work in progress. We've got a lot of work to do as we get started with practice on Friday. We're getting tougher, we're getting grittier, but we've got a lot of work, a lot of things to clean up. But I do think we'll be tougher, we'll be a lot grittier. And we're excited to get going on Friday and kind of get out of the individual development stage and get more into a team stage.
Did you know that Jeremy was going to have a problem when he got here, and y'all just waited to see if it would?
Well, no.
I know that.
No. We the medical stuff we had gotten said his injury was a little bit better, but I think he had been working out on it and doing some things on it, but maybe not quite at the pace that we require. And I think once he got here and the pace and that sort of thing, I think his ankle. I think we needed to do this, but not just for here. I mean, for him going long term. I mean, you let this stuff just sit. He's got problems walking at 30 years old, which you don't want for anybody. So. It's more than just getting him ready to play this year. Hopefully this gives him the best chance to play this year, but also gives him a chance to live a good life when he leaves here.
How about Galen Alexander?
He's recovering. He's at about 75-80% probably from his knee injury. So he does modified workouts, modified conditioning. He's still not back fully ready to go.
Any other
Look at
players?
The changing the culture and, these Friday workouts that we see, the road trips or tests or whatever they call them, just the things you're doing. How is that progressing and where are you at with that?
Making progress. We're making progress. So, this week's our boot camp week. So we do conditioning boot camp every morning. We had our first one this morning. You got to pass all 3 days to practice on Friday. So if you don't practice, if you don't pass this, you don't practice, and you're not going to play for us. So we did our first one this morning and went well.
You passed the buy-in phase though. I mean, the guys are committed.
Well, I don't know. I mean, buy-in, all that stuff's buzzwords, but there's a new normal. They know what to expect now. They know what the new normal is, and you either do it or you get left behind. And so they're very clear about where our standards are, where we are, and that we're not bending on anything that on our expectations.
Does the conditioning test change up every single day, or is it the same test 3 days in a row?
No, it's very different every day.
Are there any other players?
Great excitement. Obviously, the fan base is kind of buying in, all right, accepting the new normal, whatever it may be. But are the guys fired up to kind of reach a potential?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, guys, people want to be pushed, and they want to reach their potential. And I think our guys are no different. I like the way, our guys have worked for the most part. We've got some guys who've worked very, very hard. And I think nobody wants to be a loser. So if you give them a map that this is what helps us, this is what helps us win, this is what wins, it's proven that it's won, they'll do it. And especially when they see that they get better. I mean, I think if you asked any of our guys, they'd tell you they're in better shape, they're stronger, their basketball skills a little bit better. They feel like they've improved. None of this works if they don't feel like they're getting better. And so, I think that's certainly a critical piece to what we're doing.
Any of these other new players? Or do you expect everybody to be there Friday? Is anybody else dealing with injuries or little things or anything like that?
No, just Galen and Jeremy. Rochelle tweaked his ankle, but he went through boot camp this morning, so he'd rather do it with the team than try to do it on his own. So he went through it this morning and made it through. So I mean, the only other guys who won't be there Friday is if you don't
pass boot camp.
If you don't pass the boot camp. You told them we're letting them in practice Friday, right? Yeah. Oh, okay.
When you got here, you talked about physical transformation, trying to change their bodies over the summer. How much progress did you see there with those guys?
We made quite a bit of progress. We need more. You always want more, but on average, our guys put on a little over 12 pounds each. We had some guys on some weight loss routines, and they did a nice job. So we made good progress. We want to play fast. We want to play physical. So you got to be in great shape. You got to be, got to have some girth to you. But I think a lot of our guys' bodies have changed. Some of the most noticeable ones will be Sims. If you've seen Wade Sims, his body, he's changed quite a bit. Skylar Mays has lost some weight, tried to get him a little more agile. And I think it's helped him with his explosiveness. And Sampson's upper body certainly changed quite a bit. So all our guys have done a good job to strength and conditioning.
Which guys have impressed you most so far?
It depends on what day. We don't have as much consistency as we need, but I think everybody's had their moments. Peacock today, feather duster tomorrow. So you got to be good every day. You got to be good every day, and you can't rest on what happened. Yesterday. So, I mean, there's nobody that you just single out. I'd say our hardest workers, if that's what you're getting at, I'd say Skylar Mays has been one of our hardest workers. I'd say Aaron Epps has been one of our hardest workers, and Duop Reef. I'd say those three have been our three hardest workers. Daryl Edwards has worked really hard, our junior college kid, and Randy, our fifth-year kid. Those since they've gotten here, they've worked hard. But of the returners, I'd say Mays, the two big fellows have worked hard. Epps is playing with a lot of confidence. He's confident because he's been working, so that's good.
As I mentioned, we talk about basketball in August and September. That didn't necessarily happen the last couple of August, September.
Well,
but it's a new enthusiasm. And as we've talked about before, you got that core group of fans going to go to every basketball game, no matter what the record is or who they're playing. Got to get those other ones into the PMAC and go back to filling that joint.
Get some energy in there and get some players and win some games, and that'll happen. But you heard his approach. You better be in great shape, and you got to get physical. And he has told me in their brief moments where they work and they have X amount of days and hours they can do work together with 3 players at a time, 80 to 85% of that time has been spent on defensive aspects, defensive premises, defensive practices. They're going to play defense, which was the Achilles heel of last year's club that played no defense whatsoever.
Yeah, they didn't play much of that at all. All right, we're going to take a break. We come back. We'll have Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com. Still to come in just a short bit. It'll be Roman Banks, athletic director from Southern University. A couple of home games coming for the Jaguars, including homecoming out at A.W. Mumford Stadium. You need to get out there and take care of that. Jag Nation, you need to be at A.W. Mumford Stadium. We'll take a break, come back. Mike Scarborough, TigerBait.com's up next, right here on Tigers Roar. Stay with us.
With his little remote, wolfing down Cheetos. I hope he don't choke between Monday night football and Friday night fights. I'm lucky if I get to see a show that I like. He never hears the phone or the doorbell ring. I don't try to understand him. It's a male thing. No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
6, 5, 4, 3.
I'm back. Roger Cador here. Come watch Clarence Bugs and I as we team up to bring up all of the positive things taking place at Southern University in the state of Louisiana. It can all be seen on the Pelican Sports. That's the best one. That's it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's the best one.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge, a CLK multifamily management property. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. Stop by Cypress Lake Apartments, call 225-293-6789, or go online, live at cypresslakeapts.com. We continue with Tigers Roar, and like we do each and every week, it's time to visit with Mike Scarborough from TigerBait.com. So much going on there.
The legend.
Mike, good evening. How are you?
Hey, good evening. Glad to be with you guys as usual.
Hey, let's start with a little recruiting angle. Talk about some of the players that you've seen play, some other guys that you've got some tape on.
Well, I tell you, we went to Friday night. I was at Turling's to see Rummel come to Lafayette and see.
How's Jamar Chase?
What's that?
How is Jamar Chase?
He's unbelievable. They really have to flip him.
He's a Florida commit
for touchdowns. I mean, not only is he a fantastic wide receiver, but he's a guy that you instantly want returning kickoffs. And I think he can be a punt returner as well. So. He's one of those wide receivers that can do. You definitely want to get working with the special teams right offhand. Mm-hmm. And then the surprise to me was LSU's commitment for 2019, the big offensive lineman, Thomas Perry. Of course, his dad, Adam, was at LSU from, 93 to 97, I believe.
Yeah, Adam Perry went to Covington High. Does his son go?
Yeah, at Turling's Catholic.
Okay, all right.
And Adam's an orthopedic surgeon in Lafayette.
Right.
And had a chance to talk to him. But, I knew, Thomas was a big kid. I hadn't seen Turling's play. He didn't come to camp. I know he went to the opening, but, we weren't there for that one. And I was blown away. I think he's a really, really good offensive lineman, and I think at a minimum he's a Rivals 250 offensive tackle. We'll see if he can play tackle the next level or he's a guard. I think he can play tackle. Gets down real low, he's got good hips, moves his feet well, and he's a mauler. I mean, he finishes off plays. He's got a mean streak. So, and you'll see it on the film. I shot a lot of film of him, and I should have it posted the next day or two.
Mike, let me ask you, on the lines of offensive line, defensive line, Ed Orgeron has come out and emphatically stated we're going to have to go to the JUCO ranks to fill some holes immediately. Have you heard anything about who they're pursuing from that venue?
Well, the only guy that we are aware of right now where there's significant mutual interest, it's one thing to say we want 2 offensive tackle, 2 offensive linemen, and 2 defensive linemen from the junior college ranks, but where are those guys showing the interest back in you?
Right.
And Badera Traore from ASA College in Brooklyn is the only guy, and it just so happened that he said that, and we knew about Traore all along, but our Rob Cassie, our junior college guy for Rivals, was actually in Brooklyn, New York on Friday and got the exclusive interview, and that's still, you can see that on the front page of Tiger Bay, but it's LSU, Ole Miss, Oklahoma for him, and Texas just offered, so he's showing an interest there. And he's a midterm graduate, so that's a guy that they must have, and he says that he talks to Coach Orgeron a lot. So that's really important. Right. So Texas, Auburn, and LSU are the 3. He's already been to Auburn, and after he went to Auburn, my source over there told me that the coaches over there said that they thought he was going to end up at LSU, and that was back in July.
Okay.
He ain't been LSU yet.
Mike, any other things? I know the recruiting it's an ebb and flow. Some days there's more news than others. Anything else to pass on to the viewers about recruiting?
No, look, there's a lot of people that are just getting worried that, there's a lot of negative vibes about where the LSU program is right now. And, I mean, the loss to Mississippi State and some of the wins are not very impressive, but I think it can be a mixed bag. I think some of the recruits are going to look at it as look at the opportunity, look how many true freshmen that are actually playing. If you're a wide receiver, you certainly see where you're going to have an opportunity. So that's one thing. The flip side of it is they also want to believe they're going to be signing up for a program that's on their way up and not on their way down. So I think the next 3 weeks are going to be very telling. Whether LSU goes 2 out of 3 or 1 out of 3 or even go 3 out of 3. That's kind of give you an idea of where the rest of the season is going to go. So I don't think it would be good. You never know how one-loss records are going to do what it's going to do for you in recruiting, because a lot of it's about relationships and your need. But I don't know what that kind of message it sends if LSU were to lose to both Florida and Auburn. You've already got national media guys, and like Marcus Spears is. I know Marcus probably wouldn't have preferred that they replay what he said on the SEC network during the game broadcast Saturday night. But it's stuff like that can really hurt you in recruiting.
Yeah, and we'll know, the next home game, not this one against Troy, but when Auburn comes to town, LSU should have, they should have their who's list on that campus, on that sideline for that game, I would imagine.
Yeah. Look, it's like you can say I want 3 more linemen, but you've got 19 commitments, and certainly you're going to have 1 or 2 that fall off. It's just the odds are that's going to happen.
Right.
Not that there's any scoop that we've got. But you still have to. You got to have a strong class of receivers. You need 2 or 3 more there. You would like another running back. Harold Joyner is coming for the Auburn weekend as an official visitor. Plus a quarterback, still Justin Rogers. I think Fields will end up at Georgia. So then where would you make room for any of those linemen if you can actually get them on board? There's no more counting back and any of that stuff. The NCAA changed all those rules.
Okay.
All right, Mike, tell the folks what's happening at TigerBait.com and why they should be a subscriber.
Yeah, go to TigerBait.com. Nobody puts out as much footage of all these recruits that we're talking about than we do. We've got anywhere from 3 to 4 cameras out every Thursday, Friday, Saturday night at games that matter. So check us out at TigerBait. Basketball coverage, baseball, all your team coverage. We got it for you. So if you're an LSU fan, give us a shot.
You're the best, Mike. Thank you.
Hey, Mike,
Thanks, guys.
appreciate
Talk
it.
soon.
All right, and don't forget, after the game Saturday night, about 9:30, Buddy Sanji and I with the post-game show, Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com will call into that, as will Ronnie Rance. We're getting some messages. May have to replay the Rance thing a little bit later on.
I'm going to give up my seat so Roman Banks can take over.
That's
so.
correct.
See
We're
you
gonna
later.
do a little Roman Banks. And
I'm gonna go
before
watch
you go,
basketball.
tell everybody real quick when they can hear you on the radio.
7 a.m. on 9, 10 a.m. WBR CBS Sports Radio. 2 to 4 on 103.7 The Game FM in Acadiana, Sports 1280 in New Orleans. So we're syndicated in both markets. Thrilled to be there.
He's Jordy Holberg. I'm Tommy Christ. And when we come back, Roman Banks, Athletic Director at Southern, will join us. We'll talk some Jaguar stuff for you after this pause on Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, and on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com. Stay with us.
Mosquito truck.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-718-3516. 800-718-3516.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in BatonRouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows, it's an honor to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
Accord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Accord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Accord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Accord Eye Clinic, Vision Source. Welcome back. I am Tommy Krysan here on Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans. My pleasure to now be joined by a longtime friend, Roman Banks, who's the athletic director at Southern University. We worked together years ago at Southeastern. He was on Billy Kennedy's staff, had some NCAA tournament team over there, and I was doing the radio and TV stuff. Roman, great to see you, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
All right, I had the first question for you. I've always known you as Coach Banks. So I would tell people, yeah, I know Coach Banks. We worked together at Southeastern. Now you're athletic director, Roman Banks. What's been the biggest change now that you're the athletic director and you're not basketball coach?
Well, the numbers changed quickly. You know, you had 15 young men and you had 4 assistant coaches, and now you have about 350 student athletes. You have about 75 employees, and then the day-to-day operation, you know, of football and all the other things that you have to be concerned about.
Yeah, and of course it's all about the student athletes, and you guys at Southern, you know, Southern has had the issues in the past. You guys have moved ahead of that, correcting things, and hopefully there's no problems in the future. And, you know, people don't realize how much goes into, like you said, it's over 300 student athletes. You know, you have to monitor what they're doing academically, you know, athletically, and all the paperwork. It's a big chore. You need to have a big staff because you want the student athletes to be able to perform in their respective sport.
Yeah, and you know, it breaks down a lot of ways. You have your academic side, where you bring in your student athletes for the academic counselors and advisors for athletics only. And then you have your compliance side for athletics only. And then you have your day-to-day operations side. And then you have your, you know, your finance side. And so there's an entity within itself that has its own dynamics.
So is it safe to say there's not enough hours in the day for you?
It's not enough hours in the day. I think my wife thought I traded in for less hours. Now it's more hours.
Well, no, now you think you're going to miss the basketball. I mean, I know what you miss. You miss the players.
Right.
You miss the assistant coaches, all that camaraderie. You miss the being in the locker room together and competing in the game. You know, you're probably not missing some of the early morning practices or all that. But are you missing the game? I mean, because it's such a part of you. It's in your blood.
Yeah, you know, being in this chair, probably people are surprised. But at the end of the day, you know, basketball is in me. And I miss early mornings, actually, you know, getting out there on the court and motivating the guys and the young men. But this has been a challenge for me within itself that really haven't given me a lot of chance to reflect on that. But I'm sure, you know, when the ball start bouncing and I'm in the games and they playing and I'm watching that, I'm going to miss it a little bit.
And you want to call a timeout.
Yeah, you know, I want to nudge Coach Scott on the shoulder, but I get out his way and let him, you know, run his own team.
Now, speaking of basketball, Jordy and I were talking about this earlier. You know, the college basketball world got rocked a little bit earlier this week with this FBI being involved in money and coaches and schools and problems. And I think it's going to change a lot of things, namely AAU basketball, which you've had. You could tell us stories all night long about the issues and the headaches and the problems in AAU basketball, because a football coach, Dawson Odoms, he deals with high school coaches when he's looking for student athletes.
Right.
Basketball coach got to go to these AAU guys who are wearing a warm-up suit, and, you know, it's just a different animal, and people have said it's been out of control for a long time. This may be the end of AAU basketball as we know it. You being someone that dealt with it on a daily basis, would you agree with that?
I agree. You know, I was talking to the basketball staff earlier today. I think that this gives the NCAA the chance that they need to come in and monitor it from the FBI standpoint of what's going on with it, because, you know, they started grassroots basketball, and ever since they started the grassroots program with AAU, there has been a problem. And you start talking about coaches that really don't have basketball experience, and then they hired at the college level. You know it don't really add up. And when you start talking about these shoe companies giving the big money to these AAU teams, and if you track it, all the way down, who wearing the tennis shoe, who wearing the brand, what agent have it, it shows itself pretty well.
It's not a secret. And I mean, It's just the NCAA doesn't have the manpower and the time to wrap their arms around all of it.
Well, I think one thing is the NCAA didn't know how to manage it, because grassroots program is just that. They could not tell
they had
Nike
no
or Adidas,
governing body. They couldn't control it.
They couldn't control it. I mean, you can get, Nike can get their money to a basketball program, AU program, but now the part that we all knew was going on, now they get a chance to come in and control it because it's been identified by the FBI.
We're hearing $100,000 to a kid so he would go to Louisville, and I'm saying it because it's public knowledge. I mean, that's not like getting a free hamburger, on a trip, or getting an extra shirt when you show up on a visit. I mean, those things happen. We know that, but $100,000 to, and these coaches taking some money to influence the kids, because the kids look up to the coaches.
Right.
They respect these coaches. They have a relationship.
Right.
And I think it's the tip of the iceberg. This thing is far from over.
Oh, yeah. I think it's a lot of things that will be unfold as this continue to be talked about. And I tell everybody, well, one thing about us is that we didn't have that type of money or that type of latitude to play with, so we were out the equation. But, it's a big boy game when you start talking about that. And these coaches are challenged to stay on top all the time, year in and year out. And to stay there, sometimes you'll catch yourself doing some things that's on the borderline, and so you have to be careful with that.
One other thing on that topic, and then we'll get back to Southern University athletics, the one and done thing. For a long time you could go from high school right into the professional ranks. Then they changed that, the one and done thing, and I think most cases the one and done doesn't work. We know Kentucky's had success with it, Duke, whatever, but they're part of this whole problem,
right.
And that's another part of the story. But do you think this will also eliminate the one and done, where a kid has to go to college for a year, because then they don't go to class in the spring, and and then they get influenced to go to that college because they have to, or go to whatever college with money, whether it's shoe companies, other endorsements, whatever. I got a feeling the one and done is going to go back off the books.
I think so. I was never in favor of that rule, because I think first of all, if you're blessed with that God-given talent, I think you should have the chance to showcase it. I think if you're old enough to vote and do some things, serve your country, whatever, I think you have that right to do that.
Go play in the NBA if they want you.
If they want to pay you. I think it's your God-given right to be able to do that if you're fortunate enough to do that. Now, I understand education is a big part of it, and you want to prepare them, but I think that they can get prepared through their training while they're getting paid. And you just hope that the people that are around them, their parents or whoever their guardians, help them make the correct decisions, maybe further their education while they playing, come back, get some hours and those type of things. But you got to realize, I mean, some of these kids come out and make $5 million. You got a PhD and you don't make $5 million.
No, it would take you a long time.
Yeah.
So, no, it is what it is, and everybody's got an opinion and thought, and what has happened in the men's college basketball world this week,
right,
and is going to continue to happen. We got to let it play out, see how deep it really goes. Nobody, you don't know, I don't know, but it's going to be a mess, I think, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of things that they discover, and it's going to help shape this upcoming look of the NCAA or how they want it to look. But I always thought that to level the playing field, that to get the shoe companies out of AAU basketball would help.
Well, that'd be a good step in the right direction. Pardon the pun there, a shoe company taking a step back. Back to the task at hand, Southern University athletics. You've hit the ground running, as you said, not enough hours in the day. 300 and something athletes in the sports programs. What are some of the short-term goals that Roman Banks has for the athletic department as a whole? And then we'll get sports specific in the next segment.
Well, I think that, one of the things that I want to do, I always say, bring our athletic department to the 21st century. So I think it's some technology stuff that we need to do to be able to advertise ourselves and brand ourselves in such a way that will help our following. I think Jaguar Nation, speaks for itself, but I like to communicate with them a lot more. I think it's just simple as saying that you can able to print off a ticket at home and be able to come to the game and we scan it and let you in. So I say these things and it seems very minor, but to get these things transitioned and done the right way take us a little time.
You got to make it easy for the fans. You got to make it a good fan experience. And I know that's something you're working on so that when people come on the campus for an athletic event, whatever sport it may be, they're going to want to come back to another event, be it that sport or check out another sport.
Right, and I just think the customer service that you have to have that. And also the approach is to identify our own athletic alums that we haven't been able to communicate with. And so I would like to get all the documentation and all the email addresses and start communicating with them and bring them back and recognizing some of the past teams and athletes. And, we started doing that this year when we brought some of the guys back and was able to put their name in Mumford Stadium for the first time. And so under my watch, you'll see a lot of that revolving around what we're trying to do in athletics.
There's no better spokesperson for the athletic department than someone who went through it, like Aeneas Williams or some of those guys y'all brought back a couple of weeks ago. And the entire SWAC has done that because from Walter Payton on down, there's some unbelievable athletes that have come out of the SWAC, and made a big name at a professional level in all sports. And I agree with you completely. You can bring those formats, even if they're not a Hall of Famer like Aeneas Williams. You got guys girls that sweated out there for 4 years, got their degree. They need to come back and tell the current student athletes what it's all about, what it means to them. Because as you know, when we get a little bit older, then we realize how fortunate we were to have a certain experience. And I think you're talking exactly what should be happening.
Like me, when you lose a little hair and you get 15 more pounds heavier, you realize some things and you're able to go back and express those things to the student athletes. And Southern is rich in history. And I always say in life, and I was taught that you have to know your history, your past, to advance in the future, because you have to be able to respect that brand. And, obviously it's not the same now. People are always saying, what about the student athletes? Then, you really can't compare Southern University to LSU. Let's just be fair about it.
Right.
Once upon a time, the great players was going to the predominantly black schools. That's not happening anymore. But we still should be on a playing field where we are getting quality student athletes and going out and being very strong at all levels.
Yeah, that's that. When we come back, we're going to talk a little Jaguar football. A couple of home games coming up. Fort Valley State, Alabama A&M, including homecoming. So there's a lot of reasons for you to get on the campus in the next couple of weekends. We're going to talk about that with Roman Banks and a lot of other Jaguar athletic things right after this pause. I'm Tommy Chrysan, Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, and on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Jordy Helper for Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market at 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. Chairman's Reserve steaks, their pork, their chicken, their seafood, top of the line. Primo barbecue pits, Icy Tech coolers. They can go anywhere and cater anything for you. Go to 751-7665 to call Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market, where good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name is Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I
I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For total home pest control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
We continue right here on Pelican Sports TV. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, visiting with Roman Banks, athletic director at Southern University. Coach Dawson Odo's football team on the road took a tough one with Alcorn up in Lorman the other night. Now they got 2 home games, including homecoming. What's the very latest happening with football for the 2 games? I know you want people in the seats at A.W. Mumford Stadium.
Well, you know, this week coming we have Fort Valley State, and, you know, this is a team that I think that Coach Odom is looking forward to playing, and hopefully we can come out there and show some dominance, give him a chance, you know, to get his team some reps that they need and get some confidence. I think most of all he needs the fans to come out and continue to support them. You know, it's been a rough 3-game road stretch, and now we get a chance to come home, and kind of good to be at home to get yourself together, get in front of your own fans, and see can we go out and get a couple of games. You know, the following week we have homecoming week, which is a big game for us. And we have a lot of events going on to welcome our alumni and fans to the campus. And so we'll have a lot of ancillary events going on during that game to make sure that everybody has a great experience.
Yeah, because they want to get you in the seats at A.W. Mumford Stadium, and then all the homecoming activities. You know, when you're younger, when you're right out of school, homecoming means a little bit more. When you get older, everybody gets busy in life. But I always looked at it as a great chance for people to come back to the campus where they went to school and or played sports, and you know, and run into old friends and old teammates and all that stuff. So we want to have a big push this year out there on the campus for the entire week. We know not everybody can be involved with every activity, but pick something out, go to the website, gojagsports.com, get out there and be a part of it, get those game tickets, get in that stadium and support these kids. They work hard, very hard.
No question about it. I always say one thing about Southern University is that our homecoming is, I think, is an event and not just a game, because we have a lot of activities and that we welcome everybody back to, and they can engage into whatever area of business or whatever area the case may be during the week. But definitely we need to set some type of record for attendance, you know, on that Saturday evening at 6 o'clock. But before that, we need to make sure that we're in the stadium this week. We have a very important stretch, and we need the support of our fans. You know, one of the challenges that I have is trying to find the financial mechanism to support athletics. You know, selective admission came, cut the quality of the number of students that we used to have. Also, you know, so we only have student fees now. The state cut back on what they were allotting for athletics. You got to generate dollars, and those basically are tickets.
Ticket sales, right?
Yeah, and so I always say now is the time for us to show ourselves, and so I always said, and I challenge Jaguar Nation, is that the student athletes need you more than ever right now, because we have to be financially responsible for our own self. And so we know that times have changed, and so now we really need to come out and support our team. Going on the road is fine, but we don't get any of those dollars. It was nice up there in Mississippi. Our fans
big crowd
came
with
out.
the Lorman, right?
Oh, one of the largest crowds. But we need that to happen both weekends at Southern University.
Like you said, you need the revenue from ticket sales. And they need to go to the concession stand and get the Cokes and the popcorn and buy the Southern hat and the gear and the shirts and be a part of it. We know not everybody can write a big old donation check, but you can buy a couple of tickets. You can get to a game. People go out there, tailgate, maybe don't go into the game. You got to be a part of it, okay? And then, when they get a win against Fort Valley State, and everybody loves a winner, that'll help some too. But I think your point is well taken. The student athletes at Southern need it now more than ever, and that includes the F.G. Clark Activity Center when hoops starts, and Lee Hines Field, and softball and soccer.
At our level, you only have a couple of revenue sports, and that's football and basketball, and so everything is kind of designed around that to be creative to raise money. And so the season tickets are very important. A lot of our sports are free, volleyball, softball, soccer. And so we need people to buy season tickets. If you're not live in Baton Rouge, it's still a way to help us buy season books, and that'll help us out quite a bit.
Yeah, that'll certainly help as well. Just buy that ticket, even if you don't plan on using it. Maybe you can send it to a friend who might want to use it, something like that, because that's important. There's no question about that. And, it gets talked about every year now. We're in the middle of college football season, these quote-unquote paycheck games, and somebody will say, well, LSU shouldn't play Chattanooga, or, Georgia shouldn't play so-and-so. But from the other end, schools like Southern, if you can go play a game and get a big paycheck, then, that helps the budget more than people realize.
It does. I mean,
even though we know it's a mismatch when you show up. But, the kids are going to compete. They're going to work hard. They're going to try to win the dang game.
Well, Howard went and beat UNLV.
Right.
And so I sit down with Coach Odoms and our scheduling coaches, assistant ADs, and we try to figure out, the competition that we think we have a chance of beating. We just don't go out and try to get money games. And right now, and I'm challenging the fans, because if you don't buy the ticket, then that calls you to go out and get these game guarantees.
Right.
And
if A.W. Mumford was filled for every home game, you might not have to go to Mississippi State or Georgia or wherever.
Right, and instead of playing two, you probably just play one game and then get a chance to have more home games, and that's what we're after. So, a lot of times I sit here and talk about what needs to happen. So filling up the stadium will help me be able to make more decisions to help our fans, to give them an extra home game to come out and support.
I'll tell you what, I'm talking about those paycheck games. I'm going to tell this story because I know the facts on it, but when you were on Billy Kennedy's staff at Southeastern, y'all went down to New Orleans to play Tulane one time because Tulane gave a nice check. I actually saw the check. We won't say the number here on the air. And you guys beat them.
That's right.
Just kind of like Howard beat UNLV.
That's right.
You guys went in there. Not only did you take the check from Tulane, but you got the W. And, of course, that was the start of that run into the NCAA tournament when it almost beat Oklahoma State.
And I've been fortunate, at Southern to go in and beat some of those teams and as the basketball coach and get those checks. And we after that because I think you still always want to challenge your student athletes, and your student athletes always want to play a game or two like that. I think football, if you're able to go in and get the right team, you play one of them. That's what really needs to happen at all levels. Play one if you can get the right.
And try to get the stars to line up and be in the game in the fourth quarter.
There you go.
And have a chance.
There you go.
If you're down 60-0, you don't have a chance.
And so you try to get that done, but you have to be in the right situation, scenario. You have to be financially responsible in those things. So, but you take that out the equation, is that also a game to those kids like that challenge, because we all think we're supposed to be on that stage.
Right.
And so I think, and my goal is perhaps to be on the playing field where we can compete with teams like Lafayette, South Alabama, eventually build our program to that level, because we need to go there. And so I don't think that's far-fetched to do that.
So kind of in summary, Coach is saying, now more than ever they need a Jag Nation. You need the Jag fans. Buy a ticket, even if you're not going to make the game. Buy a season pass, buy a season ticket, make a donation if you can. You need to do that. These student athletes work very, very hard.
No question
all the
about it.
sports do, the support staffs, the trainers, the equipment people. I mean, there's a lot of people involved that work their tails off every week, not just Dawson Odoms.
That's right.
And we know he works his tail off. So get out there and support. And as you said, you got to create that brand. We here at Pelican doing what we can to help you guys on radio and TV. We got some other things, as you know, we're in the works on. We'll save that announcement for later.
Very excited about
And, so we're going to help you with the way we can by getting into Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and New Orleans with some messages. I told you, 2 months ago, I wanted you to get you in here in September, and here you are. So, that's what we want to do and help the student athletes at Southern, which in turn helps the whole campus.
And I will say this, is that people have been very receptive, and like yourself and other people reaching out to us now, and we're able to come up with some branding ideas, and we're able to, do these different TV shows that we haven't done in a long time. And so I think that Southern University deserves that, and personally, you and others that have helped us, I appreciate it very much.
Well, the ownership here at the Pelicans is very committed to Southern. We're going to do what we can to help, whether that's radio, television, or both, or just giving some tickets to some folks to go to the games who would not normally get to go to the game. Get some young kids in there where they can maybe make it a habit to go to Southern athletic events. So we're certainly going to do that. About a minute left, Coach. We talked about some of the short-term goals and getting the name out there, bringing back former student athletes. In the big picture, where would you like to see the Southern Athletic Department in a couple of years?
I honestly think that, as we continue to address our facilities, technology, I think that I would like to see us fit almost in that Sunbelt type level, where we can get TV coverage, where we can get closer to attendance to our student athletes. I think that these things people don't know anything about, and I think, I often say it, that I think bigger than the SWAT, because I know where college athletes are going. And so thinking bigger than the SWAT, we need to be ready to line ourselves up, make our foundation strong enough where we can advance.
That's well put, well said. You can see the short-term plan. You can see the long-term plan there to get Southern athletics to that next level. We're talking all sports, men's and women's sports. You guys got over 300 student athletes. You throw in the support staff of equipment people, trainers, assistant coaches, all the people that help, and the people that work on the facilities. I mean, this involves a lot of people.
It's a big organization.
And your staff, you guys are busy as heck. Yeah. So, we're going to help call out to Jaguar fans to be a part of it in any which way that you can.
That's right, and we need your help right now. And I think that we come from a long ways. We lining ourselves up pretty well. We got a new academic building coming that we're able to get a grant for. So the NCAA is saying that we're doing the right things, and we want to keep that going.
He's Roman Banks, athletic director at Southern University. We'll visit with him again a couple of months down the road. And like we said, we got some plans in the works to do some things with the athletic department out there, and we'll let you know about that in due time. Don't forget Saturday night, right after LSU Troy, Buddy Sanji and I'll have the post-game show with your phone calls, your text messages immediately following the game, as soon as it's over between LSU and Troy at about 9:30. Hey, it takes a lot of people to put this show together. On behalf of the entire crew at Pelican Broadcasting, I want to thank Jordy Hulberg, Roman Banks. I'm Tommy Christ, and we'll speak to you again soon.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name is Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.